Welcome back to Hydro & Co. Welcome. Yeah.
Glad
Brand
to
new
be
week.
back, boys.
Yep. Welcome back, Kendall. I want to take the first moment here to just congratulate Big Wes, Big Casey, getting married this weekend.
Good job.
Chase, hell of a speech, man. Had us crying in the club. Beautiful wedding. The fucking violin player was ripping that shit.
Yeah.
For like 25 straight minutes. I was like, Big Jake, if you know him, leaned over to me and was like, this violin player's been fucking shredding for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But beautiful wedding. It was good to see all the boys together. The whole crew essentially made it. All the Hydro & Co. guys made it. Even Bryce, who can't be with us this week, made it. Just a little administrative stuff going forward. No Jeopardy this week. No game this week. Next week should be our first game back. Kind of tweaking with the schedule. Kendall has a new route at work, so had to throw a little wrench in things, but we're able to start doing this now. It'll probably be on Thursdays going forward.
Maybe.
But
We'll
We'll
see.
see. Subject to change, but I'm glad we're able to get in this week and talk a little football. Well, now that we got that out of the way, we can talk a little football. So let's recap this week for our prospective teams. I think we should go in the order of which we'll be drafting in 2025. So, Kendall, why don't you go ahead and lead us off?
Well, sitting at B-Dubs with my good friend Chase, who came up to see me instead of Wesley. And
Right.
we were getting our ass kicked at the beginning of the game, fell behind 14-0 very quickly. And all of a sudden a switch flipped and our defense was playing lights out, had like 5 sacks, forced some turnovers. And Sincere McCormick was running with a purpose. And he was playing his heart out. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we would march down the field and turn the ball over in the red zone. And that's how you lose games, how we lost. Aiden O'Connell, probably going to be done for the year. So now we're on to our third quarterback in Desmond Ritter, further backing up my point of why I want a quarterback. And after this past Sunday, we now have the number 1 pick as it sits right now due to us overtaking the Giants in strength of schedule. But as the season plays out, that could change because I don't know if either team's going to win a game the rest of the year. So we'll see. But whether we win or lose the rest of the season, I'll take it either way.
Good news for you. Tommy Cutlets will be starting next week for the Giants.
Yeah, he's better than Desmond Ritter. I can tell you that.
Oh, okay. So I guess next is me because we'll be picking not too far behind, but decently far behind. We played the team that Tommy Cutlets played for this weekend. Won. Yay, we won. Not gonna lie.
Hey, congrats.
Winning meaningless games like this, it's bittersweet in a way because our draft position just keeps falling, but our record keeps improving. Now we're still alive in the playoff hunt, so they're saying we got a chance, but I don't even think we control our own destiny at this point. So that it's a long shot to say the least. Shout out to Brian Brzee. He blocked 2, if not 3 passes early on in the game, and then at the very end of the game, mind you, he is a almost 300-pound defensive tackle, leaped over the center and blocked a field goal. Made no contact, so there's no flag to be thrown, and blocked what would have been the game-tying field goal, and we got away with the dub. Now, we did leave New Jersey with some injuries. Derek Carr somehow managed to concuss himself and fracture his hand in the same play. I don't know if y'all saw it, but he leaped over 2 defenders for some fucking reason on the sideline and landed with one hand, and then his hand collapsed and he fell fucking head first into the dirt. So he's probably done for the year. They're not going to put him on IR, but that means so right now they haven't named the starter. Darren Rizzi's kind of kept that under wraps. At least to my knowledge, I haven't seen any tweets come out about the starter yet. Jake Hayner replaced Carr late in the game. But at the same time, every time Carr has been hurt this year, Rattler's been the starter. So I think that Spencer will be a starter this week. I think next week, I would not be surprised if newly signed quarterback Ben DiNucci didn't get a start for the Saints. So, yeah, to that, we're DiNucci, and it's not fun. But, yeah, not a whole lot to really be joyful about heading forward. So, Chase, why don't you liven it up?
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you how fake of a fan I am. I had bigger fish to fry on Sunday. I was at Beat Ups, as Kendall said, to see him. And honestly, I watched the Eagles game, but I was so tuned in on every other game that was happening around me because of fantasy football, which we're about to dive into here shortly. But the Eagles won barely, 22-16 over the red hot Panthers. And then now, after the Ravens game, you couldn't tell me shit. But it feels like last year all over again with the way that things are happening now. Apparently, AJ and Jalen aren't friends anymore. Everybody hates running the ball. I'm sad. I'm defeated. I'm ready for it to happen. But luckily for you guys will have high draft picks. Me, I'll just have heartbreak in the first round of the NFL playoffs. So this week against Pittsburgh's kind of turned into a must win because if we lose, I can see it spiral out of control. But part of me also thinks this is it's nothing. The wide receivers were frustrated about the passing game, and I mean I get it. They didn't really get the ball. AJ didn't get the ball until like the end of the first half. AJ Brown's stat line was 4 for 43. So I mean I would be upset too, especially if I feel like I can make a difference in a close game. Luckily, Xavier Legette, one of my favorite players that's not an Eagle, just happened to drop a ball at the goal line. And yeah, we came out of that game with a victory. And it was not a fun one. But we're still fighting for the Lions for the number 1 seed. The dream's still alive. But boy, oh boy, we got to get the passing attack going or we're going to be screwed come playoff time.
Well, let's go ahead and jump right into our next segment over fantasy football. If you don't know, which 9 out of 10 viewers are actually in this league, so you should. We're in a fantasy football league together. It kind of takes up a majority of our conversations and personalities as a group, but this time of year is interesting. So we're going to go through our fantasy matchups because there's enough of our viewers that are in this league to where they'd like to see it. And we are a 12-team PPR league. 8 teams made the playoffs. 4 teams didn't. Surprisingly enough, we bring the boom, which would be me, made the playoffs for the very first time. So congratulations to me. I'm not in the bottom 4 this
Good job,
year. The last 3 years we've done it, I've been last place 2 out of those 3 years, and I was second to last place the other year. So big improvement, broke the cycle. We bring the boom, 5 big booms for the boys, and yeah, we're moving on. But I think we're going to start with our consolation bracket first. So these are our bottom 4 teams down here. The loser of our fantasy league this year, thanks to Chase for picking the punishment this year, will get to go spend 24 hours in a Waffle House unless they can eat their way out. Waffle an hour. And I'm not going to lie, looking at these group of 4, I see maybe a max of 6 waffles out of any of these people. So it's going to be a long day for any of them. And honestly, one of them, I'm going to be surprised if they even do it. And so let's go ahead and talk about him, Big Will and Logan. Big Will is Kendall's dad, and he is the one that we're in question about. Because when you have a group of 20 to 30-year-olds and then, a grown-ass man that happens to be Kendall's father also in the mix, it kind of makes things a little different because he's never been in this position before. And we've always kind of wondered what would happen if he did finish last. And going into the playoffs, he is the worst record in our league, tied for worst, but is one of the hottest teams over the last couple weeks. So looking into this matchup with Logan, for me personally, Looking
This will
at this-
change, by the way. This
Yeah.
Devil Singletary will change.
So looking at this lineup projection wise, I need to make this bigger. 1 second. Full screen layout.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Looking into this, the projections are 121 to 115, but that's without Singletary. So that's
So
probably
add-
going to go up about
Add
10.
12 more points. Yeah,
12 more points.
12.
So 124 to 121. Personally, just looking at this straight off, I kind of like the matchups on Will's side a little bit better. You got some Cincinnati, which is a team that allows a shitload of points. The Minnesota Bears game for Keenan Allen should be a pretty high scoring game too. What I don't like, and Logan would agree, is how bad Alvin Kamara has been since all the injuries have happened. So that will be a tough one for him. He needs Alvin Kamara to play really well in order to win. Because I think you guys would agree. The money matchup here is Purdy and Allen and Jacobs and Kamara.
Yeah.
You know, if they win, if Logan wins, outscores those two guys, then he's got a chance.
And I don't know if Isaac Grando's going to play either.
Yep, and I have his backup.
All
But
right.
you got what's his name? Taylor?
I think so.
Oh. That would suck.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Oh, okay.
Who's he
Let's
have?
see.
He has Nick Chubb.
So
Is
not
it
a bad
Debo?
replacement.
Hold on, scroll up a little bit. Is he going to put Debo in, or does he have better receivers?
He has.
He's not
Zay,
putting Debo in. He picked up
Khalil,
Khalil
and-
Shakur this week, I think.
No, he traded Kendall for him.
He,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he did. I regret that trade, but it's okay. I wasn't going to use Shakir anyway.
I actually don't have the backup.
No, he
Never
does.
mind.
Okay, so if the 49ers running back does miss, he'll have Nick
He has a
Chubb.
handcuff. He has a handcuff
And-
too.
Yeah, he has Chubb and Taylor, so he's got a couple options there. But what I don't like is I don't know what the Lions defense is ranked against Josh Allen or against quarterbacks this year, but Josh Allen does play the Lions, and I feel like anytime I've turned on the Bills or anytime I've turned on the Lions, I just feel like their games majority of the time are shootouts or high scoring, and now they play each other. So Josh Allen could very easily go for 30 plus again, and Josh Jacobs recently has been an automatic at least one touchdown. So, Logan, love you, buddy, but I kind of think you may be fucked here.
So is that your prediction?
That is my prediction. I think Big Will is not eating waffles. But to touch
I
on that,
predict
because
as well.
Wyatt did touch on it earlier. My dad's been stressing about waffles all year because he started the year like shit. So I think he's gonna do it because he's been telling me like every week, like whether it's in person or text me, like, man, I really don't want to eat these waffles. Like, who do I need to pick up? And I'll like give him a couple hints here and there of people that may overtake jobs later in the year.
Yeah, and big shout out to Big Will too, because for the people that saw the video of me getting God knows what poured on me just a couple months ago, he was sitting there cheering me on the entire time, like, you remember this moment when you win the league this year and all this shit. And now I have a chance to actually fulfill that. So big shout out to Big Will.
I do want to point out something. So obviously, Devil Singletary won't be on there. So projections are cool, but look at the average first and foremost. Logan's team is consistently underperforming. So that's something that would scare me if I was.
What's funny too is their average makes the matchup even closer.
Yeah, but also don't forget.
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, which he's not on here, so couldn't tell.
He usually does. He usually does. Look, he'll usually swap them on Thursday mornings because he knows there's a game on Thursday. So that definitely changed.
All right. I'm also picking Big Will here, and Logan will be one of the teams next week battling out for waffles.
All right. Well,
Also, what? Oh,
Go
my
ahead.
bad. I was
Go
going to say Kamara is questionable. Is that like the same injury he's been battling, or did he get something
Yeah,
new.
I think he's going to be questionable the rest of the year.
Yeah, I was going to say if Kamara and that 49ers running back sit, I mean he can play the handcuff and Chubb, but that's not ideal to have AK, your best fantasy player, sit. Oh,
I will say for Logan, I'm sorry to let you know this, but when Carr's been out, the passing offense is kind of stalled. Rattler likes to throw the ball more to Jawan Johnson and the tight ends than he does throwing short game to running backs. And the problem too with that is it's really hard for Kamara to slip out over the middle and get open because Spencer's so short he has to roll out on everything. So if Spencer does start, it's going to be a very one-dimensional rushing game from Kamara, and he's probably going to underperform in that regard because the Giants' defensive line for some reason killed us last week. So I have a feeling that that very well could be a trend moving forward for us. But go ahead, moving on. The battle of Wayno Yachty. B Rich and Big West, the newly married man, take on each other. You know, looking at averages here and projections, looks like a very close matchup. That's one of the best parts about this league is the matchups are always super close. And you know, like you're seeing some 5-9 teams here. When you go look in the playoffs, like all the playoff teams are like 6-7 or 7-7, except for like 3 teams. So looking at this matchup, I kind of think it's interesting to see that Wes only has the advantage at 2 positions.
And Brees Hall probably isn't going to play.
And Brees Hall is probably not going to play. So who's his bench running back right now? Let's look at that real quick.
Zach Charbonnet. So he has to bank on. He has Pacheco too.
So he's going to probably play Pacheco because Kenneth's going to play. So starting Charbonnet would be kind of you're not getting any boom potential out of that start. It's probably you're just hoping he hits projection at that point. But I think Jade Daniels versus the Saints is a great matchup for him. I think Terry McLaurin very easily can go over projection. And that's something that you could see in his average. He's average over projection. I think Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson here are 2 big players for him because Jordan Addison had a great game last week and he's been trending upward. But can he continue to do that? The Chicago secondary is very solid. But at the same time, like they're the worst team to play if you're starting a quarterback because I have Sam Darnold. I know that this week. But Sam Darnold did throw for like 350 yards and 2 touchdowns when they played. So Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson are going to be interesting to see for him on that side, just because Hawkinson's not been very great since he's returned. But at the same time, B Rich's team is interesting. It's very boom or bust because, like looking down the line, Mahomes, he's been okay. Monty, if he doesn't get a touchdown, which most of the time he does, he's under projection. Chuba's been good. Garrett Wilson is either a 15 to 20 point guy or like a 6-point guy. Jets receivers this year have been so bad to keep because they're so inconsistent. But T and Travis, B-Rob back for him is huge because they're about to run all over our fucking ass this weekend. So I think for me personally, looking at these 2 teams, I think I'm going to give B-Rich the advantage here. I think B-Rich is going to get out of this somehow.
To touch on what you're talking about, the Vikings Bears, their best defensive players, Jalen Johnson. I'm going to go ahead and assume he's going to be shadowing Jettas. So Wes has Aaron Jones, TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison. So theoretically, you would think that those 3 guys are going to get more looks if one of the best corners in football is on Justin Jefferson. Whether that results in fantasy points or not, I mean, we'll see. That doesn't directly correlate, but
because Sam just spams JJ the ball. He's like like Stafford and Cup.
Yeah, and another thing, if you look at the averages and projections, both of these teams are projected a lot more than what they've been averaging this year. So what that probably tells me is most of these players have been getting hot in the last few weeks. Like Jordan Addison, he's had like what 30+ weeks in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Like he's heating up, stuff like that. Jane Daniels remembered how to play football again. Just I don't know. I would go with West because I think Jalen Johnson is going to shadow Jettas, and so I'm going to bank on the other 3 Vikings he has getting more opportunities. I don't know if that's going to result in fantasy points or not, but I'm going to take West to win this. So I have Logan and B Rich battling out for waffles.
Awesome.
So what's funny is because obviously for those of you guys who are listening that know us, I was with Wesley all weekends, and me and Wesley had battled out for the last spot, I guess, in the losers bracket. But he was like, dude, he's like, there's no way I eat waffles, man. He's like, my team's too good to eat waffles and lose 2 straight. I'm here to tell you right now, I hate Wesley's team. DK scares me because he's projected 14 points. He'll get about 4 because JSN has taken up the star receiver role on that team. Hawkinson will get you 11 points or 3. And then he has the Bengals defense, which sure has a favorable matchup against Tennessee, but also Will Levis will sling the ball.
Timeout. We have breaking news from ESPN. Big time breaking news. Bill Belichick is finalizing a deal to become the next football coach at the University of North Carolina. Bill Belichick is going to college football.
That'll be interesting. He's like 70 years old. I think his time's come to an end. But
hey, that's a big name. I had to pause it. Just hit my phone.
400-page document full of demands is the most Belichick thing ever. If y'all heard about that,
I did not hear about that.
Pretty much what they're expecting is that Steve is guaranteed the head coaching role after Bill retires. His girlfriend, who's in grad school at UNC, gets free tuition.
Oh yeah,
like it's just some funny. It's just some Bill Belichick shit.
But no, it's good. Keep this thing moving forward. I'm taking B Rich. I have Wesley and Logan battling it out. Who did? So you had White had Wesley and Big Will.
I had B Rich and Big Will. Or yeah, Wesley and Big Will. Wesley and Big Will. Yep.
In the final loser bracket. Okay. Kendall had B Rich and Logan.
Yeah, B Rich and Logan.
Then I have Wesley and Logan. All right.
We all have different outcomes.
I think Logan's eating waffles though. That's my prediction.
Logan, I love you, buddy, but I also think you're going to be eating waffles. I like Brandon's team a lot more than Logan's.
Yeah, Logan, I'll come eat some bacon with you, bud. But you're going to be eating waffles.
I will definitely stop by Waffle House and help him out for a while. But yeah, he's going to be eating the waffles.
Wait, why? How can you say that? You picked Logan to win.
No, I didn't.
I thought you did.
Big Will to win.
Oh, okay, cool. Logan. Enjoy.
So I will say I think we should select the Southside Paducah Waffle House as the Waffle House of choice.
I think we're going to try to do it whenever the weekend I come up there for the draft. That way I can also sit with
exit for Waffle Hut.
Hey, Waffle Hut say. I like Waffle Hut. I love Waffle Hut. But
all right. We want to go ahead and move into the winners bracket.
Yeah, we can do that. Also, Logan, one last thing. Jake making it into the playoffs really screwed your chances, buddy. I'm so sorry, dude. But Jake got blessed. He's just happy to be there. But all right, we'll move to this one.
Okay. One more thing I will add: the 4 teams that are in the consolation fighting for waffles, none of their teams are just downright horrible. Like Wyatt said, everybody was competitive.
There was only one team eliminated last week of the season.
And that's the hottest team currently.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to Kendall's matchup. Kendall takes on Tag. Kendall's pretty much been a buzzsaw for the last, 8 weeks. Beat the number 1 seed to end the season because Cody, I don't know. He's just Cody sometimes, and we'll get into that. I just played tag 2 weeks ago, and his team is okay. He has a lot of Giants players, and that's what's killing him. Tracy and Neighbors are tough.
Well, he didn't. He didn't have Giants players. A lot of them.
Huh?
He didn't have a lot of Giants players.
He did, but no, he does.
Tag could have. I'm going to say it now. Tag could have been a very, very scary team. He's still a scary team if he would have kept Justin Jefferson. But that's
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm not overly nervous, but I think Tag's team is very, very solid, and I don't give a shit if Tyreek Hill is the biggest bust in fantasy any given year. The motherfucker scares me because he could score 40 plus any given week. Amon
Talking
Ra,
to the guy with Jamar fucking Chase.
I know, but if he can match Jamar Chase, then I think it would definitely be close because he has Amon Ra also, who could also do the same thing in a game that I think is going to be a shootout. But other than that, if we're going position by position, I would disagree a little bit with the app. I would take my guys all the way down to a Monroe over. I would obviously take a Monroe over Swift, but other than that, I think I'd rather have my side.
Yeah. I'll just say this: your average is 147 a week. Give me Kendall.
Your team goes as Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase goes. If they bust 1 week, you're done.
Yeah, and here's the beauty of it. Tag is a Titans fan, and he matched up with me, and the Bengals play the Titans. So not only is he going to be watching the Titans game very closely because he's a fan of that team, he's going to be watching Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase go up and down that field.
I'm not going to lie to you. I wouldn't be happy with the fact that they're playing the Titans.
Why?
So let's say they go up fucking 28-0 in the first half. They're going to start packing it in.
Name me a team that the Bengals have gone up 28-0 on this season.
I mean, it's the fucking Titans, though.
The Titans will go up and down the field on the Bengals defense.
I'd be worried. I would be worried about that fact. Is what I'm saying. Like, yes, they're probably going to blow them out, but I would be like, I'm afraid when I. So like for me, like if I have a player that's playing fucking Carolina, I get nervous because if they go up fucking 3 touchdowns, they start packing it in. Like I want to have guys that are playing tough, high scoring games because I want them to be consistently looking for targets and catches the entire game.
Well, I think you're also forgetting that the Bengals defense is absolute dog shit.
I'll give you the answer to my
Will
question.
Will Levis would make Sister Mary the Poor's defense look good.
I'll give you the answer to my question, Wyatt. The Bengals at one point, it was like 28-7 or 31-7 against the Raiders. I was there. So that was a blowout game, and Joe Burrow threw 5 touchdowns. So I'm not too worried about it.
I have you winning. So
yeah, I do too. Your head better not get too big though. That's all I'm gonna say.
I just need my guys to just hit their projection, stay healthy. That's all I want.
Me. I got D-Hay this week, and I'm nervous about it because this team is really fucking solid. Yeah, right there. Look at the lines. When I win, it is because someone went over projection, and they went over by a lot, i.e. Sam Darnold, usually.
Chris Boswell.
Chris Boswell has been a fucking force of nature on my team.
Brother, why in any world would the Lions kicker be projected more than Chris Boswell? There should not be a kicker. I don't care what the matchup is. There should not be a kicker in fantasy projected more than Chris Boswell.
Well, actually, that doesn't make sense. I feel like they'll move the ball, but they won't score touchdowns.
Exactly. So. I love when the Steelers play good teams because that means Chris Boswell is coming out the fucking kick over and over and over. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I could see this being a 20-point week for Chris Boswell. Like it's one of those games.
You'll need it.
I will need it. I really like D-Hay's team. Lamar is Lamar. Kyron Williams, Puka, Nico, like K. Dotton. There's so much boom potential on his team. He has such a high ceiling, such a high floor as well. He's averaging 133 points a week. I'm averaging 117. Something about my team usually gives the other team bad juju, and it's like a low grind game. So that's what I'm hoping for, is that I can have some players boom, and he has some players busting. I'll just say for me, I don't know who my RB2 is going to be because I'm kind of afraid. Because right now, Javonte Williams is in like the biggest running back committee, and they all suck. And then if Alexander Madison plays, that's probably going to take touches out of Sincere McCormick's hands. But at the same time, I think Sincere's earned enough of a share in the committee to where he probably gets the ball the most. I'm not really worried about Amir Abdullah because he didn't do shit last week. Really glad I didn't start him because I almost did. I started Sincere last minute. But
buddy, I think even if Alexander Madison plays, like he's going to start, like he'll play the first drive or two, but then after that, I'm just being honest. I think this is Sincere's backfield at this point. Like, they're just going to give the young guy a chance, see what he can do, see if he's going to be on the roster next year.
yeah, I'm just.
He's been running hard, man. He's earned it.
I like my receivers this week. You know, Lamb against Carolina, Jacoby against Atlanta, because Atlanta's secondary is fucking Swiss cheese, and then Cortland against Indianapolis. So like, it's just the star power he has. It's probably going to be like, if I was not myself, I would pick D. But I am me, so give me me.
That's cool. I'm picking D.
Wyatt, as much as I want to pick you because you got 2 Raiders in your lineup, I'm going to go ahead and pick D.
Yeah, that's fine. If I beat D. I make the chip, though. I will say that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, great segue.
Because of this
Speaking of that,
matchup right here. Just some backstory. This is Cody's team. He is 12-2. He started 10-0. And then fell off a cliff because he decided he's going to start fucking Jerome Ford over Jahmyr Gibbs.
There's a little bit more than that. Chris Godwin tore his ACL. Stephon Diggs tore his ACL. He traded A.J. Brown. He traded A.J. Brown the same day Chris Godwin tore his ACL. So he absolutely just fucked over his receiver core right there.
Yeah. And then he traded for Mike Evans and proceeded to give me Jawan Jennings, Cortland Sutton, and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's like QB7. Cortland's been one of the hottest wide receivers the last 5 weeks. And Jawan Jennings put up, 23 points last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he made a real Wyatt trade there. MVS, I'm not going to lie, with Carr not in the lineup, starting MVS is fucking pointless because our quarterback ain't going to be able to throw the ball that fucking far.
Who does he have on his bench? Does he have anybody that can replace MVS?
I can look that up real quick.
Okay.
I'm not sure he does, to be honest with you. He doesn't have a ton of depth. He has Alec Pierce and Alec Pierce.
I'd start Alec Pierce and hope to God Anthony Richardson throws a deep ball because that's the only way he's going to get a lot of points.
He also has Braylon Allen if Breece Hall doesn't play. So not all is lost there.
Yep.
Cody, Jake, I love you, but I think this is probably the 2 worst teams in the entire playoff, and they somehow matched up against each other. So I'm going to go ahead and predict the winner of D. and Wyatt and go to the championship. But in this specific matchup, I feel like the 1 seed always gets upset. I feel like they never
every
win.
year, every single year.
So for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going to default to taking Jake because this George Pickens been officially ruled out.
Yes,
he pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm still going to take Jake just because of the simple fact that the 1 seed never wins.
I'm right with you, buddy.
I kind of feel bad for Jake in a way because, like, so for example, Jaleel McLaughlin is this RB2, right? Oh. He tried to shop Kareem Hunt before Pacheco came back, but his asking price was too high because he thought that there would be more of a committee when Pacheco came back. And it's pretty much been Pacheco's show. Like, Kareem's projected 5.9 points this week. to the point where Jaleel McLaughlin looks like the better option. Like that's what sucks. It's like if he would have pulled the trigger on a trade,
Hold on.
he could have gotten a running back.
You do realize he traded Marvin Harrison and Chuba Hubbard for Kareem Hunt, right?
Oh shit, really? That even looks worse.
Yeah.
Not really Marv, but if he had Chuba right now, this would be a lot different matchup. Jonathan Taylor being back this week helps him a lot. Justin Herbert has been playing really solid. JSN, if he continues, like I think Jake very well could blow Cody out.
I can't believe I'm about to say this just because of name value alone, but it comes down to Henry and Gibbs versus JSN and Jawan Jennings. It comes down to Cody's running backs versus Jake's receivers, just because of how hot JSN and Jawan Jennings have been recently.
I will say this. I think the catalyst for Cody, and if Darnell Mooney scores more than 16 points, Cody wins.
He plays the Raiders, so double move on Jack Jones, and he's to the house.
So if Darnell Mooney can score enough over projection to make MVS or Alec Pierce a 15-point receiver, he wins that week.
Yep.
But I do have Jake.
I'm picking Jake. Sorry, Cody. It's nothing. You did
nothing personal.
I've been the 1 seed. Felt pretty hot. Lost Cooper Kupp. Lost the first round. I've been there.
Lastly, the battle of friendship here.
Friendship.
Chase and Bryce.
Championship rematch from last year, first round.
Yep.
Two good ass teams. Chase fought his way in. Bryce had a week off last week. But you know what? I think sometimes that's not good, Like Chase's team had to fight, and claw to get there. And sometimes that's good. Resting before the playoffs isn't a good thing. So, Chase, looking at your team, Tush, if I'm you, I'm hoping for tush pushes because, that's 6 instead of 4.
Absolutely.
Chase
Bryce has Saquon.
Yep. Chase Brown's been a dog,
Absolutely.
like an absolute fucking stud. And then you got Drake London and Justin Jefferson. Ladd McConkey's also been good. I think personally for me, you were talking about the AJ Brown thing. You're kind of hoping that continues. But at the same time, you hope it doesn't continue because he also has Saquon. So if like Dallas Goedert can have like a career day.
Oh, he's hurt. So.
Okay.
I got Devontae Smith on my bench.
Devontae Smith. Yeah. A Devontae Smith game would be great. And Jalen Hurts running the ball in and being a touchdown merchant would also be ideal. So for you, watching the Philly game to me would be torture. Because it's like you're rooting for them, but you're also rooting for specific players to score. I think
I'm just glad that the Eagles are playing meaningful football in December. Whatever happens. Fantasy is second, but I get what you're saying.
I will say Brian Thomas Jr. is kind of a boom bust guy. Jonnu Smith looked rough last week up until their overtime period, and then he got all of his points. Yep. Or was that the week before?
No, that was last week.
That was this week. Yeah.
Last
week.
Or this week, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I will say this, Chase. I'm going to pick you, and the reason I'm going to pick you is if Chase Brown and Tony Pollard can come within 10 points of Mixon and Barkley, you win this week.
Oh. Well, here's why I feel good about that. Like Chase Brown's, I think since he took over like the full-time duty at running back for Cincinnati, he's been like RB2 behind Saquon.
Yeah.
So
I think Brian Thomas against Sauce is a tough matchup.
Yeah, but also Justin Jefferson versus Jalen Johnson. So.
Yeah, but luckily you got a quarterback that's going to throw him the fucking ball either way.
Yep, you got a point there.
Unlike Jalen and AJ.
I am scared of Jerry Jeudy going off. Well, that's really it.
It's Jeudy. Kansas City though. All their games are low scoring.
Yeah. Oh.
I think other than the obvious, where it may come down to whether you tush push or whether you hand the ball off. That's the obvious thing here.
That's going to be the difference.
Yeah, that might be the difference. Other than that, you need Tua and Jonnu's connection to be like it was last week, just before overtime.
Yeah.
And then I think you can win. So I'm going to take Chase, but I think this is going to be the closest matchup of the first round.
I wouldn't want to have the Eagles defense. Fucking Boswell's gonna be nailing 3 every time they get driving down the field.
I'm gonna pick Bryce. So, my team
That's
is
some
very
reverse psychology
pyramid.
bullshit.
Hey, look, like I said before we started, I'm just happy I'm not in the last 4. I could care less what happens. I won it last year. I did the dance. You know, I broke the curse of the champion doesn't make the playoffs the following year. I did it. But now's my time to just ride off in the sunset, man. Cancun's gonna be nice.
All right.
But
Speaking of championships,
are we
Chase,
picking?
who do you have winning it all? And it has to be someone that you didn't just pick. So you can't pick yourself because you said you weren't going to win.
Well, I don't really want to pick anybody because I just want to say whoever comes out of our side of the bracket is going to win. But
I do
also,
agree with that.
I'm also cheering against D-Hay so much because D-Hay won baseball. And if he wins football and baseball, we're going to have to whoop his ass at the draft next year to humble him. So here's my thinking. I think Bryce beats me, and I think the Eagles take off next week. So I'm going to pick Bryce to win it all. I just that's my guess.
Kendall?
I agree with Chase. I think whoever comes out of our side is looking good, especially if one of y'all fuckers can upset D-Hay, because I think that's like the only great team on the other side.
Well, I'll say this. I think I'm going to upset D-Hay.
Bang. And whoever
then-
comes out of our side is going to win it all because
And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna blow out Jake again.
Damn.
And then I'm gonna go to the chip and I'm gonna have the greatest fucking revenge tale of all time. From zero to hero.
What a story, man.
From the dog cage to the championship belt. I got myself.
I mean, good for you.
All right.
With
anything else that you'll want to say?
Oh, okay. All right. I never picked anybody.
Kendall never picked. But,
I thought Kendall picked Bryce.
Chase picked Bryce.
He's gonna say
I'm gonna
himself.
pick. I'm gonna pick myself. It's not just because I want to pick myself. It's because my starting lineup is averaging almost 150 points a week. So
you think I fucking believe what I just said? I'm gonna win this shit. It's gonna be a cakewalk. I don't care who's
okay. Besides myself, I will take the winner of Chase and Bryce. So I picked Chase. So there you go, bud.
If I go back to back, better get 2 belts.
All right.
I'm not ordering another one. Somebody else can.
I'll order it
okay. We want to move on to our next little screen here, over to our tier list. So, keeping on with our tier list.
Yeah, we'll do this.
Keeping on with our tier list that we've been doing the last couple weeks. We are now on receivers. So, boys, how do we want these to go? We got elite. I think we should keep that one. Pro Bowl caliber.
Yep.
That was a point of contention last week. I think good is still a good one to have. I think instead of average, I would put wide receiver 2.
Okay. So average is a good thing, right?
Yeah. Okay. Like you're not bad. You're just a wide receiver 2.
That's not what I wanted to hear. All right. Thanks.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
It'll hit later.
I'm going to throw in an idea here. I would, in between ass and wide receiver 2, make a tier like
overrated.
No. Like right. Like I don't know. Like the right system would help this guy, or like needs a quarterback or something like that.
Okay. I like needs a quarterback.
There you go.
All right.
Starting off, Adonai Mitchell. Has this guy even played enough to rank?
Not really.
We
Needs
just
a
needs a
quarterback.
quarterback because
Needs a
Anthony
quarterback.
What he
Richardson can't
needs.
throw
He
the
needs a
ball.
quarterback.
He needs a quarterback.
Yeah. So AJ Brown.
Pro Bowl.
I want to hear y'all.
You shitting me?
I'm
So
not, buddy.
I'm
I'm
going to
full
put him in Pro Bowl too.
Okay.
I'm willing to come and look back at it though.
Okay.
I'm judging this off of like majority this year, but also like name value and provenness a little bit, just a little bit.
Amari Cooper, I think, is good.
Former Raider, he sucks.
Buddy, I love Amari. I got a jersey in the closet right behind me. If you could see it, it's pretty dark in my room right now. But I'd say at this point in his career, he's a wide receiver 2. I would consider Khalil Shakir the wide receiver 1 on that team.
It's fair. Monroe is elite.
He's a quarterback.
Jared Goff.
Monroe does need a quarterback. You're right, but I think he's an elite receiver.
All right.
Brandon
whatever.
Cooks is ass.
He's ass. Yeah, it's time to hang him up, bud.
Brandon Ayuk is a wide receiver 2.
Okay,
good.
let me ask you this: if Brandon Ayuk was the wide receiver, if he was like the clear-cut wide receiver 1, so no Debo, no Kittle, do you think he would be on the level of like CD Lamb, AJ Brown ish?
No. I
Okay,
think he'd be Amari Cooper in Cleveland.
Okay, then he's a wide receiver 2.
I think he's good.
Okay, so like if that were to happen, we're saying he's good. So I would put him in wide receiver 2.
So we'll put him wide receiver 2. All right.
I think Ayuk and Amari currently is that's a solid debate, but we can come back to it.
Okay. Brian Thomas Jr.
Brian Thomas Jr. is good.
I would consider him a good receiver too.
We've just been super inconsistent as a team. It hasn't really just been Brian.
Calvin Ridley is the most inconsistent dude on this entire list.
He needs a fucking quarterback.
Yeah, he may need a quarterback.
I think if he was still in Atlanta, like if he'd have never left Atlanta, he would be like a Pro Bowl caliber receiver. CeeDee Lamb is elite.
No, what are we doing?
I can't justify putting CeeDee Lamb over AJ Brown. I'm sorry.
We're not doing that. There's no way we're doing that.
Then they should both be elite.
Mm-mm.
Because I agree with you. I don't think CeeDee's that much better than AJ.
I'd put CD in Pro Bowl. I think him and AJ are at max.
CeeDee's better than AJ.
I don't think I would take AJ over CD, but I think they would
CD
belong in
over
the same
AJ.
tier.
We can put him in Pro Bowl. It's fine. I think Chris Godwin is at least good, if not Pro Bowl. Like here's
the thing.
Solid.
This year he was going the hell off before he got hurt.
He was,
but I cannot. There's something about it. I can't consider him like in the same tier as AJ Brown. I got to put him in good, but he's probably at the front of it.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
You said Pro Bowl or good? Sorry.
Good.
I agree.
Chris Olave needs a quarterback.
I mean, yeah,
he does. But I would take Olave over Amari and Ayuk.
You think so?
Yeah, I would put him in good. Honestly, he's like the back half of good right now. Because when Carr was healthy, he was healthy. It wasn't that bad. Christian Kirk, I think he's. Oh fuck! Is Christian Kirk better than Calvin Ridley?
I don't even know what Christian Kirk's done this year.
He's out for the year.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He started like ass. He started like ass. Had a couple good weeks, then got hurt.
27 receptions, 379 yards, and a touchdown.
How many games?
8. That's half a season. So he was on pace for like 700 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I would. Needs a quarterback. I'd take Ridley over him.
You think Trevor Lawrence isn't a good enough quarterback?
That's my thing. I don't
I
want to
think
put him there.
I think he can be, but he's not currently. No.
Okay.
Christian Watson. I think
Hey.
Christian Watson is a wide receiver 2 on any NFL team he played on right now.
Hey,
Yeah.
he has. Hey, every now and then he's up here. but
Yeah.
he's mostly right there.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp is an absolute wild card because if you're going on a per game basis, that dude is elite, but he just can't stay on the field. So for that reason, I put him in Pro Bowl.
I'm okay with Pro Bowl.
Oh, you're not going to get an argument from me.
Cortland Sutton, I think, is good.
Kendall's not going to agree with you, but
Fuck him, he's ass.
yep, there it is. I think he's also good. But you know,
Curtis Samuel's ass, right?
Curtis Samuel's very replaceable in my opinion. I think he's ass.
well, for the sake of this video, let's look at this. This year, 23 receptions, 200 yards, and a touchdown. Okay, we'll go ahead.
Devontae Adams.
Moving on.
He's not ass.
Oh, well, you're right. He's a quarterback.
He does need a quarterback, but
I'd put him like Chris Godwin right now.
Should we bring up the stats?
this is like tugging at my heart right now, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying.
58 receptions, 662 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That is not up here.
How many games though? Because he missed games with us.
It's like 3 games.
He's played 7. Wait, hold on, 10. Sorry, I apologize.
10. So he's averaging about 70 yards a game. How many CD averaging?
More than that. Fuck. He's fucking wide receiver 2 in fantasy.
I don't think that's accurate at all. What?
He was it was 3 going into this week. Or last week.
CD. What were you asking me?
How many yards a game?
How many yards a game does AJ Brown and CD Lamb average?
You were asking me to do a lot. Holy shit. Why is that not a stat that pops up?
Hold on, I got it.
CD is wide receiver 4.
Give me like 10 seconds.
He averages. He's played in 973 yards.
Welcome to the Hot Drunk Coach Show, where we do math on screen.
$75 yards a game.
I sorted it by yards per catch. I was like, what the fuck?
He's about 75 yards a game, but he's got 5 tuds.
Okay, he is. I'm gonna name some players around him in yards per game. I'll name a few above and a few below. Garrett Wilson, Darnell Mooney, Drake London, Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers, Brian Thomas, Cortland Sutton, Jameson Williams, Jordan Addison, Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs' numbers are skewed, but
yes.
AJ Brown averages 83.6 yards a game.
On a team that just runs the ball.
But still more than CD.
Correct.
Okay. After seeing that,
he's within 10 yards.
Fully 100% down, and I love him on Raw. Fully 100% down to move him down to Pro Bowl.
Thank you. Fucking thank you.
Right. And then I would put. Okay, I would take everybody in Pro Bowl over current Devontae. But I would also take Devontae over anybody in good.
I think he's the separator between good and Pro Bowl. Are you better than Devontae Adams right now?
We'll come back. We'll come back.
We'll put him there. We'll come back.
Yep.
D-Hop. I'm gonna be honest. D-Hop's at this point in his career is a wide receiver 2.
I agree with you. If he's the first option, I don't think he thrives. but he ain't the first option there. So I agree with you.
Debo is good.
Oh, okay. He leads the league in drops.
Debo.
He's still better than Cooper, Ayuk,
Okay,
Watson,
hold on.
and Hopkins.
Hold on. Debo is a great athlete.
He's a wonderful running back.
Yeah, he's great after the catch, great running back, but as a wide receiver, he cannot run routes. He can't like create any kind of separation.
You still can't. You still got to put him in good. If Debo caught the ball better, he'd be Pro Bowl.
Would you rather have Brandon Ayuk or Debo?
Debo's more effective when they're both on the field.
I'd probably take Debo there.
Okay.
I think Devontae Smith is good. He could be a wide receiver 1 on a lot of teams.
I'm good with that.
Me too. Awesome.
Deontay Johnson sucks.
He don't even get the Ravens traded for him. He don't even get playing time.
He got suspended for fucking not wanting to come in the game because he was pissed off.
Yeah, I agree. He's bad right now. He is awful.
He's down terribly. DJ Moore's good.
I agree. I think he could be a Pro Bowler. But
DK Metcalf. He's kind of trended down.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
Nah, he's better than all them guys. Yes.
If you're throwing a screen or a vertical, DK's elite. If you're throwing any route that has a breaking motion in it, he's ass.
Hey, he can probably run a pretty good deep post.
Yeah, probably. I'd put him in good.
He's a physical fucking specimen. That's what helps out.
All right.
Dotavion Wicks, who?
I mean, we know him, but he's not. He's ass.
So here's the real question: Is Drake London? Here's what I'm gonna say about Drake London: Is he better than Devontae Adams currently to y'all?
I think with a better quarterback, he could.
So are we gonna put him in needs? Is he like?
He's got a better quarterback than Devontae Adams does.
Have you seen what Kirk's been throwing the past 4 games?
Have you seen what Aaron Rodgers has done?
I'm just saying, do we want to put him at the top of good or the bottom of Pro Bowl?
I would take Devontae straight up over Drake London, but I think that's pretty close.
I personally would rather have Chris Godwin than Drake London.
All right,
Healthy.
He goes a good. He goes a good.
Garrett Wilson is good. This season has shown a lot.
Yeah.
Like, he's the second best receiver on his own team right now.
Okay. I'm good with that. I would also like to throw out a suggestion right now. Brian Thomas Jr. belongs in wide receiver 2. I think he is a imposter among the rest of those people.
All right, we'll cross that bridge once we get done with the rest of these guys.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
George Pickens. Can we just make a tier called fucking, like, scumbag behavior?
Hell no. That's an elite wide receiver right there. I'd put him in Pro Bowl.
Fighting people.
I'd put Pro Bowl. I think he's earned it.
I think George Pickens is like.
I think he's better than everybody in here.
Bullshit.
I'd take 5 guys in good over George Pickens.
I'd take 1 guy in wide receiver 2 over George Pickens.
I would take
team wide receiver 2.
I would take Tay, Chris Godwin, DK, Garrett Wilson, and Drake London over George Pickens.
I'd take Brandon Ayuk over George Pickens.
I wouldn't do that.
Again, he's in wide receiver 2.
I'm good to move Ayuk to good.
I'll move Ayuk to good. And
if
Pickens.
We're going to leave Brian Thomas in good, I think Ayuk should be there.
Fuck it. Where's George Pickens going? Good? Awesome.
Good.
We'll figure it out.
Jahan Dotson's ass. Jamar Chase is elite.
He's elite. Yep. Welcome to elite, Jamar Chase.
Jamison Williams is a wide receiver 2.
I would put him. Okay, yeah.
He's too inconsistent. Yeah. Wide receiver 2.
Jackson Smith and Jigba at this point is good.
Yeah.
I think he's up here.
Oh, fuck no. He's been good for like 5 weeks.
I think he blends in with the people in good. I think if you put him in Pro Bowl, he would stand out with those guys as an imposter.
Fair enough.
Jaden Reed,
He's another one that's so inconsistent.
dude, he's so inconsistent. He would be
He
a wide
either
receiver too.
he
on
either
most teams.
goes the hell off or he's got one catch.
He's like a great wide receiver too. He's like a wide receiver too you'd want to have.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Jalen Waddle,
He's the definition of a wide receiver too.
Jordan Addison is also a wide receiver too.
He
had two.
streaky.
No recency bias here. Wide receiver two.
These two right here, they go together really well.
Yep.
Yes.
JJ, welcome to Elite.
Elite.
Keenan Allen, can we put washed or needs to retire and put Amari Cooper in that same tier?
Where are we gonna put Keaton now? An ass or
he's a wide receiver too at this point in his career.
Keon
Coleman.
Okay, why? Straight up, you taking Keenan Allen or Calvin Ridley? Straight up.
Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Just Calvin Ridley. I don't know if it's just the quarterbacks or what, but
Keon Coleman.
He doesn't need a quarterback. He ain't ass.
He's not a wide receiver 2.
He's a wide receiver 3.
He's not good.
He's a rookie though too. Like he's. Do we put needs a quarterback / needs to see more?
We can just establish that. People, if you've made it this far, you can hear us talking. Just put him there in that tier, but he doesn't need a quarterback. No. Fuck no. He's
good though.
I disagree. I think he's elite.
Vlad McConkey's a dog.
I think he's in good.
I think he's. I agree. 100% agree.
I'm not going to agree, so I don't care what he thinks.
Malik Neighbors is good.
I don't know, dude.
I
think he belongs in this one.
Needs
right
a quarterback. Yep, needs a quarterback. I'm okay with that.
Okay. I feel like just because the tier is called needs a quarterback, I don't think we should throw him in there because by the tier list system, you're implying that you would take Christian Watson over Malik Neighbors.
You're right, but I don't think he belongs in this one.
No, I think he's in Pro Bowl. I think he's a great receiver in the NFL, but he also needs a quarterback.
That's why I think I was going to either go good or needs a quarterback for that reason.
I don't think he's on the same level as these guys.
I do think he's above.
I think if he had
he's on the same level as Brian Thomas.
I think if he had a quarterback, I think he would be on that level. I'm dead serious when I say that.
Oh, I think so too. That's why I picked him, but in fantasy this year. But he doesn't have a quarterback. I'm willing to do good. I can't do Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
That's fine.
Marquise Brown. Wide receiver 2.
I mean, this year he hasn't really done anything. So.
He's been hurt all year.
Ass.
You'll be there. See you. We'll be seeing
Marvin
you, bud.
Harrison.
Oh.
Dude, he's like Jordan Addison right now. When he's on, but it hasn't been very often.
I can't put him up here.
No, I can't.
You cannot put him on the same tier as Neighbors.
He ain't been good enough.
This is a pure definition of needs a quarterback.
Yep.
You're on the Colts, you go here.
Mike Evans is Pro Bowl caliber.
He's definitely, if you were doing this year, he's definitely in between these two groups. If you're looking at his overall body of work, it's definitely in the Pro Bowl.
Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, but it depends on how you want to do this.
I personally value him as a Pro Bowl receiver. That's my vote.
I don't disagree, but I'm curious to see what Kendall has to say about this.
Down to Pro Bowl, but
this will be the last year if they want to put him up here.
I'm just pointing it out. Him and Devontae Adams had very similar stats this year.
Well, Mike Evans missed like 5 games.
I was going to say he went on IR and missed a game.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, dude. All right, dude.
Mike Williams is a wide receiver too.
Right there with Devontae Adams.
Mike Williams is fucking dog shit.
Wait,
That's fine.
who do you play for now? I forgot. You got
He plays for the
Steelers.
Jets or Steelers.
No,
Yeah,
he got traded to the
Yeah.
Steelers, and he's done nothing.
He
he
had
got that one
catch.
ball.
That one catch. Remember that? Hey,
Nico
look, guys.
Collins. I'm just gonna say it. Nico Collins is fucking elite.
If you're looking at a per game basis, he's definitely belongs in elite.
Nico Collins will be like wide receiver 3 off the board next year.
Is there a butt? Is there a butt?
Nope, I think he's an elite receiver.
All right, cool. I was very shocked to find out he's fucking like 6'4". I don't know why I thought he was like 5'9",
Yeah,
6'4", big body. Okay.
Puka Nacua.
I think he belongs here.
Yeah, I was kind of hesitant.
Oh.
You think Cup's better than him currently?
Oh wait, no, I thought he was hovering over Pro Bowl. I thought,
I was
he's
up
an
here.
elite. He's an elite receiver.
Okay. Rasheed Rice's ass. Romadunze, wide receiver. You're a Bears fan, remember?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Stephon Diggs is good at this point in his career. He was having he had a solid start to the year before he got hurt, to be honest.
I agree.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tank Dell.
Tank Dell's a wide receiver too.
If there was a tier called needs to see next year after a gunshot wound and a torn ACL, then that would be Tank Dell.
Also would be get the fuck out of Houston. He'd be a wide receiver 1, arguably, on probably like 7 or 8 teams.
Right.
T. Higgins is good.
Ugh.
I think T. Higgins' value is determined by his situation.
I think
You got Jamar Chase on the other side.
I think T. Higgins is way better than everybody in that tier except Devontae Adams. For some reason, Chase moved him down. I would also put him in good.
Terry McLaurin's good.
Really? Not Pro Bowl? After all you guys said?
I love Scary Terry, but he's not a Pro Bowl caliber receiver.
Isn't he top 5 in receiving yards in the league?
I mean,
I'm sitting this.
Let me ask you this: are you taking him over?
Oh, here I got you,
Devontae Adams.
I want Devontae Adams in Pro Bowl. You can't include him.
Okay. No. Would you take him over Chris Godwin if he wasn't hurt?
Yes.
Then put him in Pro Bowl.
Would you take Terry McLaurin or current day Mike Evans?
Current day Mike Evans is more consistent. Mike Evans is going to give you 1,200 yards and 15 tuds.
I think Terry was a consistent 1,000-yard receiver before he got a quarterback, and now that he has a quarterback, he's having a career year.
What's his stats? Let me look.
I could be wrong, but I feel like he was top 5 in receiving yards at least heading into last week.
I'm looking it up.
Can't wait for the screenshot to come out and it says Keon Cole needs a quarterback. That's gonna be fun.
900 yards and 9 tuds. With 3 games to play. So probably like 1,100 yard receiver, 13 tuds. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
What are we doing? Moving
Pro Bowl.
Did you know that Josh Downs and Adam Thielen average more yards a game this year than Mike Evans?
Well, it's also because Adam Thielen's played like 3 games.
Okay, let me find another one.
I was about to say Adam Thielen's literally played 3 games, and then Mike Evans, one of his like 6 games he's played was the week in between, and he missed a week for the hamstring, and then tore the hamstring that game, and then was out for 5 weeks.
All right, I know he's not on this tier list, but he averages the same as Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid Shaheed's only played like 4 games.
Okay, fine. It's Khalil Shakir.
Okay, that's an argument. Rashid Shaheed didn't play that
I'm
much.
not saying that I think he belongs in Pro Bowl. I'm trying to make the case for Terry belongs right there, at least with him.
That's fair. Who's next?
Tyler Lockett.
Ass. Washed.
Good at a time, but ass now. Tyreek Hill's elite.
Oh, this year?
I'm not just taking this year into account the whole body of work. I mean, he needed a quarterback for 7 weeks? Like, truthfully, before Tua got hurt, and this was like how many weeks post Tua coming back? This was like the 3rd week.
Current day, you taking Tyreek Hill or AJ Brown?
Taking AJ Brown. I like AJ Brown because he's more consistent because he's actually a route runner.
All right. So what?
I would totally be okay with moving AJ Brown to elite and putting Tyreek Hill at the top of Pro Bowl.
What week did Tua come back?
It was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been longer than that. Did Tua play against the Raiders in week 11?
He played against us, yeah. I don't think that was his first game back, but
I gotta find out when
I
Tua came back.
I think it was the week before us.
Tua came back against Arizona. So since Arizona, who has Tua tag or not Tua, Tyreek? Tyreek has had 72, 80, 16, 61, 48, 83, and 115. He only has 200-yard games this year. Like, that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to be like a yardage guy. So I'm not putting him on elite.
Mm-mm.
All right, Wyatt's not here. My show now. Fuck you, Wyatt. Pro Bowl or good? What do you think? I think this year he belongs in good, but I understand if you want to put him.
If we're taking body of work into account for Evans, then I think we got to do the same for Tyreek.
Sounds like a plan.
Flowers.
Yeah.
He's good.
I think he's overrated as shit.
He's good.
Well, where would you put him at, Wyatt?
I'd put him in wide receiver 2.
I'd take Zay over everybody in that tier by a mile.
Just think I don't know if it's the scheme in which they run or what.
I agree. He's going to good. All right. So this is the final? What do you think, boys? Where's the argument to be made at?
Here's what I'll say. I think good and elite should be an even number.
Good and elite?
Or elite and Pro Bowl. So it needs to either be 10 or 12.
Oh, well, that's easy then.
No. Move them back.
Who else I moved down there?
Tyreek.
Where's it? No, there he is. Oh, you want to move one up?
No, I'm saying there's 4 there. There's 7 there. There's 11 total. So is elite and Pro Bowl our top 10 receivers, or is it our top 12 receivers?
Let's do top 10. Okay. I'm good now. Who are we moving out? Boom. No. Hell no. Hell yes.
I don't like that.
Okay.
I would rather add Devontae to Pro Bowl and make it 12. Because I do think Devontae's above the rest of that tier.
I don't. I think Drake London's better. I think Garrett Wilson's better. I think JSN's better. George Pickens is better.
Garrett Wilson is the second best receiver on his team, and Devontae is the one that's above him.
That is false.
I agree with Wyatt.
Of course, you agree with Wyatt. Why wouldn't you agree with Wyatt?
I think
Fuck it. You know what? Please, everybody. There you go. All right.
No.
We're done. That's.
I think it's wrong now.
Oh, good. Thank God. Thank you. Thanks for coming to your senses.
Well, no, in between.
You happy?
Okay, who?
I think
I'm trying to
that's
think. If you had, I'm fine if y'all want to leave it, but if you had the choice between CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Cup, and a Monra, does any of those three stand out above the rest? Because I don't think they do.
I think CD's better than those two. I think we're highly undervaluing CD. He is the fourth best receiver in fantasy. You are literally there is recency bias because of the fact that he hasn't had a quarterback.
Okay, if we're talking fantasy, Cooper Cup averages more points than CeeDee Lamb on a per game basis.
I'm just saying that I think CeeDee Lamb is a great receiver. He's only 20, he's 25 years old. And he's at 973 yards and 5 tuds, and he's had Dak hurt for the last 4 weeks?
If you had CeeDee Lamb, which you do, if you got offered a Monra St. Brown straight up for him,
No.
Would you take it? I would.
No.
I wouldn't hesitate. I'd
right
take
now, I would. If Dak was healthy, I would not.
If Dak was healthy, I'm taking it in a heartbeat.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't like.
But we can't use fantasy as an argument because if we're using fantasy as an argument, JSN should be Pro Bowl.
Yeah. I think as wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Cup, Amon-Ra, they're all the same. Like that's the best three slot receivers in the NFL. They're all the same. They don't go up against the best corners every week because they play in the slot. They get to use the whole field, which is why all three of them are PPR monsters in fantasy, to White's point. I think you could interchange them all in any given system, and you wouldn't see a difference. So I think we should leave it, is basically what I'm saying.
I'm cool with that.
We good?
Yep.
I'm good with it.
Who snuck AJ Brown up there? I know I sure didn't. All right.
All right. We ready to make our game picks?
I did think AJ stood up among the rest of them, so I'm fine.
I did too. I will say, if you go back and rewind the tape, I said we should have put AJ Brown in elite, like right at the beginning.
Well, what I thought was going to happen
because we said I said we should put CD and AJ up there.
Oh hell no!
What I thought was going to happen is I thought we were only going to see two elite wide receivers, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and I thought we were going to see like 10 guys in Pro Bowl. But since we put Puka and Nico up there, then yeah, I think AJ should have went up there too.
Yep. All right, moving on. My phone is currently dead.
Oh yeah.
Someone wants to do the game picks. Go right ahead.
I got this. Thursday night, we got an NFC West battle between the Los Angeles Rams versus the Santa Clara 49ers. It will be in San Francisco or Santa Clara. I have the Rams winning. What about you guys?
I have the Rams.
Yeah, give me the Rams.
Awesome. All right. Next up, Dallas will travel to Carolina and face the Panthers. I'm thinking the Panthers. Panthers are red hot, and I think they can beat the Cowboys.
Give me the Cowboys, but if the Cowboys lose, Mike McCarthy won't be the head coach by the next week.
I'm going to take the Panthers.
All right. Kansas City travels to Cleveland to face the Browns. Kendall's not going to like this, but I have the Chiefs.
Give me Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns to pull off the upset.
Give me the Chiefs. This will probably be like a fucking 24-27 game. Like you got a good shot. It's probably gonna be a one possession game. So
it'll be a snooze fest. Miami travels to Houston to face the Texans. I don't know why I picked the Dolphins originally, but I'm picking the Texans.
I'm also picking the Texans, but I think this game is going to be very entertaining.
I'm going to take the Texans too.
All right. The Jets travel to Jacksonville to face on the Jags. I got the Jets. Anybody taking the Jags?
Got the Jets.
Jets.
J-E-T-S.
Commanders travel to New Orleans to face the Saints. I don't like doing this, but I'm picking the Commanders.
Commanders by 1,000,000.
I don't like doing this. I'm picking the Commanders.
All right.
I'm too close in the race at this point to I'm like right behind y'all. I can't afford to lose picks out of pride.
Hey, I've already lost. I had all the momentum in the world, and I try to get cute. But here we are. The Ravens travel to New Jersey to face the Giants. I got the Ravens. Anybody taking the Giants?
No.
Okay.
I got the Ravens.
Yeah, okay. The Bengals travel to Nash Vegas to face the Titans. I'm taking the Bengals in a very, very, very close game.
I agree with Chase. I don't think the Bengals can blow anybody out.
I'm gonna disagree with you both, and I think the Bengals will blow them out.
Okay. New England travels to Arizona to face the Cardinals. Cardinals need to win here. They're almost desperate. I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
I'm gonna also
Cardinals,
take. Yeah, give me the Cardinals.
Cardinals, okay. Indianapolis will travel to Denver to face the Broncos. Give me the Broncos.
Taking the Colts. Fuck the Broncos.
That was coming.
Give me the Broncos.
All right. And what may very well be the game of the week, Buffalo travels to Detroit to face the Lions. I'm picking the Bills here. I think that the Lions defense will not be able to contain the Bills offense.
Between the Bills and Lions and the Steelers and Eagles, which we'll touch on here in a second, they should have moved one of them to the 12 o'clock window so that everybody could watch both.
They should have
Absolutely.
flexed one to Monday night.
Or
Hell
yeah,
no.
or that. Have you
Hell
seen the Monday night? Good grief.
Ugh.
I'm gonna also take the Bills. I think they bounced back after that loss in what was a great game against the Rams. And I think they upset the Lions.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Bills too. The defensive line for the Lions are really hurt. I think this is going to have to be a Josh Allen piggyback game, and I think if they can win the turnover battle, they win the game.
Also, in case you didn't know, there's 2 Monday Night Football games this week. So,
yeah,
Yep, they're both
better.
ass.
Even better. All right. The Steelers travel to Philadelphia. Don't have to go too far. They're in the same state. Face the Eagles. I'm picking the Eagles, obviously.
I'm also gonna take the Eagles.
All right. Wyatt is also picking the Eagles. Awesome. All right. I think this is a pretty good matchup as well. The Bucks travel to LA to face the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers. Kendall's going to pick the Bucks. I'm going to go ahead and spoil that one for you. Wyatt, who are you picking?
Chargers.
Bucks.
I guess Sunday Night Football is a pretty good game too, depending on how you look at it. The Packers travel to Seattle to face the Seahawks.
I'm going to be honest with this one. Most of the time, it's felt like the games that Seattle are just like clearly going to lose are the games they turn around and end up fucking winning.
Yeah.
Like Carolina or the Arizona last week. Like, I think everyone was pretty confident going to that one. Like, yes, it was supposed to be a close game, but like Arizona had the clear advantage, and they had no problem beating them. But that being said, I'm still going to take the Packers, but I very well could see Seattle winning this game.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good game, but give me the Packers.
I had the Seahawks originally. Yeah, give me the Packers. All right. Ugh. Monday Night Football. The Bears travel to Minnesota to face the Vikings. I can't lie to you guys anymore. I can't say bear down. It was a fun ride. It was a great time. Give me the Vikings. I'm sorry.
Give me Minnesota. Give me Sam Darnold.
Yep, Vikings.
I have 3 players playing on Monday night. That's gonna be scary.
I think I do too. So, and last but not least,
I got 2.
So Monday night is going to be a crucial night for fantasy. Last game. Atlanta travels to Las Vegas to face the Raiders. Kirk Cousins sucks. The Raiders also suck, but there is hope, maybe. That's in the tunnel there. I'm taking the
Desmond
Falcons.
Ritter revenge game.
There's that. There's a storyline for the week.
Give me Atlanta.
Go ahead, pick your Raiders, buddy.
Sincere McCormick, 150 yards from scrimmage, 2 touchdowns.
Please, please.
Well, let's talk about how you really feel. You want this game to be super close to the very end. And you want to lose on like a walk-off field goal or even like an overtime loss. That's how you really feel, but it's okay. I understand.
You got it, bud. With that being said, give me the Raiders.
All right, that's it.
Well, thank you for watching the show this week. Again, congrats to Casey and Wesley for getting married this weekend. Chase, it's always good to see you when you come down, buddy. We'll see you again for the baseball draft. And sooner rather than later, we're going to have to become a baseball podcast again. Football season is quickly ending. And I'm not looking forward to having to talk about baseball for 7 months. Because
Hell
I
yeah,
know
baby.
less about baseball than I do football. And Chase, I don't think you would agree as well.
We'll get B Rich on.
Yeah.
He'll talk our ear off.
Yeah, we'll have to get B-Rich on. Dude,
About
Nolan
them
Arenado.
Redbirds.
Yep, but awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Again, hopefully Jeopardy or some sort of game next week, so we'll have a second video to post. But hopefully you guys will, if you're watching right now, thank you. We really appreciate the support, and I know we all enjoy doing it, and we're going to keep doing it. And we're on a streak right now, and I fucking love it. So love you, boys. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Shout out to our teams and Who Dat Nation. Go Saints.
Go Birds.
Raider Nation.